On this episode of Cigars and Sea Stories, Mike is joined by Eric Mitchell. He's going to be guest co-hosting a block of episodes coming up here. We don't really have a good round figure for you because we're kind of recording this one in the middle of all of the other ones. Without further ado, Eric Mitchell of LifeFlip Media, a fellow Marine, and a jarhead at that. Yuttin and Juttin. You've probably seen him or followed him on Facebook. If you've given him the verbal finger, I completely understand. So yeah, man. Thanks for coming on, CNS.
Oh, it's good to be back. It's my second time. It's like a repeat offender. My parole officer might not be happy, but I'm happy to be back. It's always
nice.
It's always fun to be on the show, especially the fact that we get to. I'm a fan of the show as it is. You know, I listen to it. It's in my ears. You guys and Joe Rogan, and then the Drinking Brothers boys always like their podcast. It's always good. You know, you go from deep podcast, and everybody always laughs when you think of Joe Rogan. The only people I've turned on to Joe Rogan because I'm like, look, if you mix these two, you get intellectual and comedy all together. It's great. Just mix all of these podcasts together and like do it. Like I have like yours. I always listen to your guys right when it come out, not because we're all part of the LifeFlip Media family, but because I actually like what you and Bennett are doing, and I'm a big fan of. It's a cool approach that I always am telling people they should get on because I think Cigars and Sea Stories is unique. Number one, I'll do anything for Marines within reason. Don't get any ideas out there, some of you crazy fuckers.
Right.
But I think that people could take a podcast and really dissect the way it's a couple hours in your day, whether you're commuting, going to the gym. For me, a podcast is when I'm going to be writing something. It's good to plug it into my ears and then nobody bugs me. And I like that. But I mean, I like to read and all that good shit. I'm one of them weird Marines that likes to.
You got the Commandant's reading list.
I used to have the Commandant's reading list used to include Starship Troopers on it. Great.
Yeah.
Freaking Johnny Rico. And they're remaking that movie, and Johnny Rico will be back. I am pretty excited about that.
Hell yeah.
I actually thought that movie was phenomenal. People are like, that movie sucked. I was like, fuck you. I also think Battleship is a great movie.
The movie was awesome because of co-ed showers.
Yes.
Because of laser tattoos. Yes. Because of slaying bug ass just yes. Up and down. Right? And it was grunts, like blue-green disgustingness. Yeah, man. No,
hatred of Pogues. Come on now.
Right.
We don't have to like Pogues. And speaking of Pogues, can we talk while we're here? Can we talk a little bit about, Axel and Discharge?
Oh god, yeah.
Yeah. Because everybody's kind of talking about that, and it's cool that we have this little, I don't know, it's like a cartoon, or as you call it, if Full Metal Jacket and Family Guy had a baby, this is what it would be.
It'd be their bastard offspring. Bastards.
Bastards.
Born out of wedlock.
But can we just digress for 1 minute to a troll that came on to the Discharge Facebook and said, this show needs a real infantry person in it. Needs a real grunt. I was like, fuck, I guess you were a pogue. You fooled me all these years with your 03 MOS, but right. Fuck me, I guess you're not legit enough. I guess the guy who just graduated from Army boot camp is way more legit than you. So
nice. Well,
let those.
We should do a couple of deployments. We'll see how it goes.
We should.
Is there a star on that combat infantry badge? Didn't think so, son.
Probably not.
That's a head pat. That's a head pat while he's wearing his beret and his blue camouflage.
Cute. And his shirt says what branch he's in case she forgets. I never really understood that. Maybe the listeners who are in the Army can explain to me why your shirt needs to say what branch you're in, because I thought you would already know that. I mean, here I am, my beret.
I say we go back to dungarees. I tweeted about this earlier today. Did you see that picture of Chesty Puller?
Dude, I'm all for the dungarees. And Chesty's the pimp with the cigar and hand in pocket.
Fuck yeah.
Hand in pocket. I guarantee nobody walked up and fucking told him, take your hand out of your pocket, Chesty.
Right.
Because he would have knife handed him in the throat.
Right. Exactly. Going straight for the throat. Throat punch.
Oh, straight up.
He wouldn't say shit. Dude, his gig line was perfect.
Perfect.
And I mean, don't get me wrong, the rest of them was rather weathered. You know what I mean? But it's like, that, dude, that's our utility uniform. Makes perfect sense. But I saw that gig line. You know, he had the sleeves cuffed and the rumpled, like, all fucked up, you know, 8-pointer or whatever.
Hell yeah.
You know, and they're rocking just those old school combat boots.
Old school.
Oh,
I mean,
dude.
he just looked, those boys, and it's kind of fitting that we're talking on today's date, which is the day after 72 years ago that our brothers took the beaches of Iwo Jima. You know, one of the deadliest attacks ever, which people seem to forget. You know, it lasted for forever. It lasted from February 19th to like March, like 4th, I believe, or 14th. It was a long-ass battle that we gave up a lot of rounds. And I'll tell you, I've been to Iwo Jima, and that shit looks like the Pakalua training area out on the Big Island. And right now, I guarantee there's some fucking O3s going, oh, shit, Pakalua training area. That place sucks. They got lava dogs everywhere. And
Lava dogs? What is a lava dog?
It's just a bunch of fucking lava. Like, that no longer is lava. Somebody's like, it's not called lava, Eric. I'm like, fuck you. It's what does dried lava become? What does lava that's I don't know. It's a fucking rock and it tears through
rock,
shit.
Right?
I don't know. It's lava rock. Lava rock is what we called it. Of course, I'm a crayon-eating motherfucker, so that's what we call it.
Dude, listen, I told you I don't give a shit if the helmet gets in the way of licking the window. You cannot take that thing off.
No. But we had these things and we had to sleep on this shit, but there's a range out there that you gotta like, you're running around on there and they tell you that this is where they trained for Iwo. So when we went to Iwo Jima and we were there and you have to take a boat out there, pretty cool. But it's very humbling to see the piece of land that they were taking.
Right.
This isn't, it's not Normandy, right? It's not this gigantic country. It's a little shit island with a bunch of prideful dudes who were going to kill us. And their whole mission was to kill us. And I say us as the Marines. And then you have the most prideful, badass killing machine in the fucking world, the Marines, showing up on their doorstep. I mean, talk about warrior clash. You can't make enough movies about Iwo Jima.
You're coming with us or you're hugging a grenade. Either way, you're meeting your maker. You know what I'm saying? Dude, I'm pretty sure Barcelona died on this day.
He did?
I got to back that. Yeah? John?
Today is John. We need to give John a little bit more. As far as I know, he doesn't have a lot named after him. I know that he has an overpass on I-5 as you head towards Pendleton, coming from the north.
He has Barcelona Road, which runs all the way through. It's the main artery of Camp Pendleton is Barcelona Road.
But he deserves more.
He deserves a fucking base, in my opinion. Dude, he was a gunny.
He was a gunny. He was a badass gunny.
He was a badass gunny.
He asked to go back. He's like Chesty. He's like, fuck it, I want to go back. And his troops love them. It's just... I mean, I'm a big fan. I mean, I don't know anybody out there who else is an avid reader or watched the series, The Pacific, which is 2 books. Head for My Pillow, Helmet for My Pillow is 1. Both written from 2 folks that actually were there. So they tell the kind of the Barcelona story that they served under him, and it's amazing, right? If you're an Audible subscriber, I'd say go get it because the actors who actually played those dudes read it, so it's pretty cool.
That's that, and it's what isn't Old Breed the other one? Eugene Sledges.
Yeah, Old Breed is 1. Yeah, they're badass books too. I mean, as a Marine, it's badass to read. I think I'm not taking away from what anybody's done in their service, but I think in World War II, to me, those are some badass. Like, we've never fought anybody like the Japanese. I don't give a shit what anybody says. The Germans, know what? But they surrender real easy. The Japanese do not. Go look at every island that they occupied. Those fools, any Marine who's listening to us right now can verify. If you go to Okinawa, if you've ever been to Oki, the Surrey Hills is the hills right above Naha. And for crazy ass people who are paying attention, they're history buffs, and you could tell I did a pump to freaking Okie. Yeah, hoorah! I did 2 of them, and that was not. Yeah. So you go there, you go in, and it's like cliffs. Like these people like dredged into the fucking mountain, right? They're like, they went in there, and when they put themselves up here on this hillside, and when we came into Naha, it was the core. And it was all the innocent people in Naha, and these psychopaths on the mountain, like kamikaze and all this other. Right now, somebody's like, he's just tearing up the history. It's not like that. But they all did this crazy shit. Long story short, these fools went up in the hills, and they would not want to surrender to our troops, right? Audie Murphy died at Okinawa. These fools were taking their samurai swords and killing themselves in these cliffs. And we didn't go in there, and it's crazy. So I give them as a warrior breed. Number one, they screwed with the wrong beast when they showed up on December 7th, 1941. I mean, you kind of sucker punched us, and we made you our bitch, and you glue in the dark for a few years. But, I think it was fair game. Don't fuck with the Marine Corps or the Navy. See?
you glue in the dark. I love that so much.
Sorry. I can't listen to this podcast any longer. He's not politically correct.
There's
You're
hate.
Right, Snowflake.
No. What I love is there's hate and discontent, and also glued is not a word. So there's a lot going on in there that I just think is absolutely fantastic. We could dissect it. I'm pretty sure back there, like just a couple of sentences ago, you said Audie Murphy died on Iwo, which is totally cool. Because, I mean, like, I'm pretty sure he died an alcoholic somewhere in his house. But, like, John Basilone died on Iwo Jima. It's all good, man. It's Cigars and Sea Stories. We have zero whatsoever historical credibility.
He died at his home. Right. I just made that shit up. That's Marine Corps history. Fuck you. I just made that shit up. Somebody famous died. That was a combat correspondent. Died at Okinawa. Okay. Right. I thought it was Adi. He died in 1971 at his home.
Cirrhosis of the liver, bro. I don't
know. You know what? Fuck Audie Murphy. I apologize. You're dead though.
Right.
You died before. You're dead.
It's all good. Fuck. Dude, I'll tell you what, though. Speaking of history, Museum in the Marine Corps, when you go through there, the Iwo Jima section of that museum is extraordinarily impressive. And if you go through as a group or whatever, they kind of put you through one of the landing crafts, like you're on a Higgins boat, right? And you get a little bit of a mission briefing and what it's like, and then bobbing around in the waves and... Well, when I went through, there was an Iwo vet on the other side. I'm like, holy fucking shit. You know what I mean? Like, this guy lived it. Oh, my God. And he was a corporal. You're starstruck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, dude, that's Aerosmith. I don't give a fuck, okay? This guy was, like, slaying bodies on Iwo. What's up, dude? Seriously, what was it like taking lives with an M1? Give me the full detail. I want to know. Go. You know what I mean? We got to have those guys down here. But when you're done with that section, and you can ask them pretty much whatever you want. And, of course, we'll answer all of my starstruck questions because I'm a geek like that. Then when you button hook around the corner, there's an Eagle Globe and anchor and a U.S. Navy anchor for every man. And I don't know if any women died on Iwo, but everybody lost their lives on Iwo. And it's... numbers are one thing, but a physical representation where it's bolted to the wall is a whole nother ball game. You know what I mean? You're looking at it like, oh my God, wow, that's a shit ton of people. I mean, there's no other way to put it. And all of the history associated with it. You're storming the beaches. Some of them had, we'll call them Kevlars or helmets, right? But you're like storming up with like a cartridge belt, your e-tool, some clips, not magazines, M1 clips. Ching! Which those guns are so much fun to shoot. If you haven't shot an M1 Garand, please treat yourself. But I mean, like, you don't want to carry that thing wherever you're going combat. Shit like that. Some of them had Tommy guns. Again, a fun gun to shoot, depending on the model. But, oh, man. The balls to do that shit.
You know, I mean, it's hard, right? Because I mean, we're both, as infantrymen, can we still say that in 2017? Now that we have Marine sisters as infantry, we're still infantrymen? Or are we infantry people?
We're infantry persons.
I'm an infantry person. Wow.
I'm a pansexual infantry person.
I mean, how many times in your when you were in, and I mean, I was stationed in Hawaii, so we played in the water a lot. How many times did have you ever stormed a beach?
No.
In an LCAC or on an Amtrak?
No.
Fuck, dude, we did that shit. And it was cool because you're like, yeah, and then you charge the beaches of Bellows, and you're sprinting out like the commercial, right? The commercial, like, yeah, and then you're like, we would never do this because your brain goes back to what it was like charging at Iwo or at Tarawa or any of those crazy ass beachheads. I mean, Tarawa's probably not a good example. Was it Tarawa or Pelu that they were like, they took the beach and nobody showed up? Like, which sounds like every Marine Corps beach landing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Training, like nobody was there for like 4 days. They just kind of marched around like, hello. What Japanese
fuckers?
Here? Anyone? Is anyone here?
Where
Japanese?
are you fuckers?
So we want to find you and kill you. No, but we took the beach that way. So funny, since this is Cigars and Sea Stories.
Mm-hmm.
I have a training sea story because I was in a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. So one time we were going down on our way to Operation Cobra Gold. Yeah, and we were aboard an LST, which I don't even think they use those flat bottom pieces of shit anymore. Which is why I became I crossed the equator, got my shellback card. I can give you the exact date and time anybody really wants to know. I know it because it's framed on a wall in my office. And we had our wonderful friends with some Amtraks with us. We had an Amtrak.
Yes.
Yes. And
everybody gather around. Grandpa Eric is telling us about the old Corps. All right, go.
Schoolhouse circle.
School circle. Centennial Bend.
Send them over. So no, we went to the Kingdom of Tonga, which is 81 islands out in the middle of fucking nowhere. Just like
sounds like a fucking paradise, bro.
Beautiful. So anyways, we hop in the Amtraks and go off the whale deck, and we're cruising to this land. And all of a sudden, we hit land too soon. We were chewing through protected coral reef. Oh, it was awesome.
Oh my god.
It was great. We chewed through just a quarter mile of fucking reef. Just like, you're just like, I'm looking at a map going, we're not supposed to hit that. This is supposed to be like,
what are you, Jacques Cousteau? Shut the fuck up, Mitchell. Meanwhile, Nemo is, getting crushed down below. Dad!
I remember we got out of the Amtrak and ran out and just, made sure we were securing the beachhead. And I'll never forget, all of a sudden, the radio and the freaking crew of the Amtrak getting their ass chewed. And I just sat over there going, that sucks. Not on me. Once again, reason 102, I love being a grunt. I don't have to deal with that shit. Right. I didn't drive us across it. I was just here for the ride. It's like Uber. They went the wrong fucking way. It's not my problem. I'm getting a refund. I mean, we still went back, but it's that shit that makes you love those Amtraks because they just don't really give a shit. Or they went in the same training evolution, we also went to the wrong island and we attacked some dude's island. Like we went in like the wrong inlet where like you see them on TV where the sailboats come there and they all park there out in the Pacific.
That's
we pulled
badass.
up. We came in. It was like 5 a.m. The sun hadn't, and we stormed this dude's private beach where his little hut was. Fool came out and was not happy to see a Marine fire team on the wrong damn island.
I would have opened fire. If that would have been my island, and I don't give a fuck. People are like, dude, that's a Marine fire team. I don't give a shit. That's a TAC team that just hopped on my fucking island. I am fucking gunning you down. And let me guess, you got like a BFA and some fucking blanks, don't you?
Yeah, dude, we were heavily armed, but I had my Marine Corps K-bar.
Oh yeah, no, it's nothing but live rounds coming back down my way.
BFA you to death, fucker.
Dude, you would have been justifiably killed, okay, if that dude had his wits about him and a shotgun. You know, like, oh my god, what the fuck? How did that happen? Who fucked that up?
You know, we never really got to the bottom line of who fucked it up, but it was like a series of shitty events. Like that happened, and then like we drove to the correct island, which was like they all looked the same. But then we landed and we parked the Amtrak.
That's racist. That's racist, Eric.
They all look the same.
Islands. That's island racist. Don't be that guy.
Islands matter, not my island.
Don't be that guy when it comes to islands. You know what I mean? They don't. So there are all.
They're great. They're wonderful people.
There's different islands in the ocean, Eric.
You know what? They paid us back because we went to another island and we found this nice little squishy place to lay down and like be grunty. And you know, like when you're training and you find a nice place that you can lay down, you're like, this is fucking great. Like this is comfortable. My little bitch mat feels good. It's like a bed. The beautiful sky out in the middle of the Pacific, and the Amtraks are there. So we got like they smuggled like good pokey bait over with us, right? You know that good pokey bait.
Yes.
Like soda and shit you're not supposed to like put in your packs because some corporal or sergeant will get shitty with you that you didn't pack for them. You know. Chew is required. So we're sitting there, and the Tongans we're like cross training with. The Tongans are like laughing, and we ask the next morning. Everybody has like a trippy night's sleep. Like people are like, "Fuck, it was like eerie sleeping last night," and like we didn't have a fire watch or anything because we had the Amtraks and they did it. And so we asked our translator what was so funny, and they told us we slept on a graveyard. That shit wasn't funny.
No.
Yeah. It's those little shitty things as a grunt when you're training. You're like, holy fuck you.
No.
Like, I'm a badass Marine, but fuck you, I'm not sleeping on dead people. I'll put dead people, but I will not fucking contribute to laying on top of them. I am not Owen Wilson.
Oh, that's...
gross.
I would have slept on the tracks, man. That would have been me.
Well, they wouldn't let us in there because they were in there. And they left their radio going all night. They're like,
Yeah, fuck that. With squelch on and shit like that.
Oh, God, yeah. Because they feel like they're cool. Because that's what those drivers do. They're like, yeah, I'm here. I love America.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, we're here.
Dude.
We're with the grunts. Woohoo.
I'm telling you, bro. Tracks are the exact same. And God love them. It's whatever. But they're the exact same way out in 29 Palms, which we have beach. We just don't have any water.
Yeah, you're missing the key ingredients of what a track is good for.
So, oh my God, just black diesel fume when the wind changes and you're doing Aero Scout type shit, and it's already dry and everything's dry and it's like dust upon dust. There's this it's not a meme. It's like a picture. I guess I don't know, but it says 29 Palms. I can't even. Just like it's so. Oh, dude, it's just one of those things where you're like, oh look, more desert. Fuck.
Yay! I get excited about desert.
Bitch. Dude, we would drive around, and I was joking about this one time because it wasn't too long ago and a decade and a half back that I was out driving around in the desert, and it was my first field op, and it was one of those things where it was like we needed to drive all night long through whatever, but it also counted towards Humvee hours, right? You know how that is. So you've got cat eyes on and 7 Bravos,
Yes.
and you're just bumping around all fucking night long. It was awful. It was terrible. It just sucked. And I was like, oh man, like, is this what going to the field is like? Now, there were field ops that were about 1,000,000,000 times worse than that. I'll tell you that much right now. So I was done with that little, jaunt through the middle of the desert and stuff, which is just literally just driving a desert, or driving a Humvee through the middle of the desert. It's has its unique charms to it. Let me tell you what. And I was reminiscent about, like, oh, this exact month, however long ago. One of the things
Yes.
that we did in 29 Palms, and I don't know about any of the other bases if they have this, but there's this area called Mount Suribachi in 29 Palms, and you have to go up NCO Hill. Well, they had this thing called the Yellow Brick Road, where you basically, they painted boundaries on the left and the right, and we had to bring these telephone poles all the way up through all of this terrain up to the top of Mount Suribachi, which was basically like a 55-gallon drum cemented into the top of a fucking rock, and then raise that mother trucker. And it was hell on wheels, let me tell you what. But that was pretty much my first week in the fleet. It was like a hellacious hump, a field op where we drove through the middle of the fucking desert and then saw more desert, and then we raised a telephone pole for a flag. It was exhausting. You know what I mean? And then it was
yeah.
it was pretty
Yeah,
much
that
all
sucks.
uphill from there.
How come running up? That just all those hills suck. I mean, 29 Palms has its shitty hills. Pendleton takes the cake with Mount Motherfucker and Old Smoky and
The
you know,
microwave, the
oh
Elfish
fuck the
shelf.
microwave. They have all those, and let's talk about that for a minute. So a few years ago, CrossFit, CrossFit. You know people who do CrossFit because they'll tell you they do CrossFit.
Right,
You
exactly.
don't even need to ask them. They're like, it's just like being in the Marines. No, it's actually not. You pay $200 and something to work out really fast. We do it for pennies on the dollar. Fuck you. Uh, but they came out to California where they always have them, but they came down to San Diego
Yeah.
and did a little swim, a little jaunt across San Onofre, and then ran up like half the microwave. They didn't even do the full microwave, and then they ran the O course there, and they didn't even run the whole O course. They like skipped stuff. They did all the fun stuff, like the up and overs, the rope climb. It was like,
Oh yeah, no, you got to do
ooh,
all of the hair raising shit.
you gotta do the shitty shit. And I was just like, well,
Right.
that's not. But I mean, I do see that they are doing. Speaking of CrossFit, I did see that they have the service games, and I think that's pretty cool. Where they're getting a lot of veterans to participate in CrossFit, but as teams, which is funny how one thing I think vets are known for is the fact that we work well as teams. And we don't even have to be in the same branch, although we prefer if we're all the same branch.
Yeah, that helps. Well,
That
and
helps.
Doc, he's always welcome.
Docs are important.
Yeah. That's
Docs are
the thing.
important.
You can't do Alpha Shell for, like, the microwave without a doc.
Yeah, Doc.
We
Docs
wound
are
up.
important. And speaking of docs, no, just kidding. I'm like, speaking of docs, you should buy Counter Strike. No.
Right.
Speaking of docs, just automatically the doc that comes to mind.
We fuck, what's the name of it? Oh yeah. One time on a hump, I was a road guard and I took a hard left turn and wound up like, whoa, sliding backwards down the Reaper.
Oh,
And my heels went out from underneath of me and I'm like, oh fuck, and just kind of like turned, grabbed, a piece of root essentially, and then dug in my right boot heel and swung around. So I was good and just kind of clambered my way back up that motherfucker. And dude, it was stupid, man. It was one of those things where well, I mean, I good Marine, unfortunately, is no longer with us. Staff Sergeant Gorzik. He was my fellow road guard at the time, and he was like fucking wetting himself because he's like, "How the fuck did you not realize that the edge of the Reaper was right there?" He was like checking out the signs and shit like that at the top of the thing, you know. And yeah, I think I was just trying to like, you know, I don't know what the fuck I was thinking, but I almost fell down the Reaper, and that would suck balls. So yeah,
Falling down the Reaper. That's impressive, man.
dude.
Did you ever have
that?
anybody at SOI get busted for chewing and have to eat their can?
No, thank God.
We had
See,
one
you took that a different route because that was gonna anyway. Yeah, sorry. What were you talking about with the dip can?
Eating of dip cans. You know that Copenhagen long cut because it has that molasses taste to it.
Yeah, that's stateside chew.
That's the stateside chew that's really good for you, that everybody uses. It's like I think you had to chew in the core.
We had a
that or smoke Newports.
no. That was Doc. That was Doc who smoked Newports.
It was always great. The corpsmen were the smokers.
You're right,
like,
exactly.
Really?
That's the irony.
Really? Like what the fuck?
Right. The fuck, Doc? It's supposed to be the healer. Right. It's whatever.
Drink Motrin or drink water, take Motrin, face outboard. That's all corpsmen ever told you. Now they tell you that you should buy their coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of stateside Copenhagen, we had a guy who got shot in the lip. It haloed around, popped out the back of his dome. And so Corpsman calls him down into the truck. Now, this is third party. I did not hear this myself. Corpsman calls him down into the truck, right?
Yeah.
He's like, "Hey, man, spit your dip out." Now, this is a gunner on a 240.
Yeah.
He goes, "Spit your dip out. I got to check your lip. You know, I'm pretty sure you've been shot." And he's like, "Fuck no. This is stateside Copenhagen. Ain't happening." Got back up, just like...
It's true, man. That stuff's like crack rock.
Yeah.
That stuff is crack rock.
One of the most depressing things of my natural born life is reading the side of a plastic Copenhagen can for the first time in country, and it says, "For military and prisoner use only."
Yeah.
The fuck is that bullshit? For military and prisoner use? You motherfuckers. Like, that's bullshit. You know what I mean? The military one should come with hand jobs. Like, this is bullshit. You know what I mean? Instead, we're degraded all the way down to prisoner. Well, service in Latin is slave. So
yes.
we'll just say that.
It's very special. We live in a special world. It's good to know our services compared to
for military
prisoners.
Military
and prisoner use. But see, prisoners could probably complain about it. They could be like, "I don't like it. It's not fresh," and somebody would send them stateside shit.
Right.
But if we did it, nobody would give two shits.
No one would give a fuck. But I tell you what, though, if you gave me a log of stateside Copenhagen when I was overseas and some of the wax in the corner came off of my lid, I don't give a fuck. I'm totally fine. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about when it dries out on the inside there. Yeah. And you're like, I don't care. I don't give a fuck. I'll probably redip that. Like, I do not give a shit. I got to push out right now. It's like 02. I got to push out to fucking Gov Center. I don't care. I'm waiting on whoas that are moving fucking Alaska barriers and PLSs. I give two fucks. Let me see that. Let me see it. Don't throw that out. You know?
Yeah.
You know what? You know why I laugh about that? Because that was when I took my NO Explode and went to my nighttime gym sesh. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
You got to get yoked.
You do.
One time,
it's like prison.
It is. It's like prison with guns. I've often told people that. It's like prison with guns, where the inmates have the guns.
It's like when people say, when they tell you, I don't know why the military is complaining, they got a raise. I'm like, yeah. A raise, huh? Do you know what they don't pay us? People apparently think that this is a glorious job to have. Like, we fucking sign up for the paychecks.
Oh God.
Yeah, because that's what we do. I'm joining the Marine Corps because they will pay me well, said no one ever. Ever.
I did it
You've
for the
never...
GI Bill.
Oh, yeah, okay.
For the GI Bill. Join the Marine Corps Infantry for the GI Bill.
That's like, I don't know if anybody out here, a listener, but Drew Hernandez, who's combat veteran and does those funny ass videos on Facebook, he's released one it covers my favorite thing civilians do, which is make up reasons why they didn't join the military. Like when they see you in uniform, or
Right.
if they find out you served and they need to tell you why they didn't join.
They always have to tell you.
God, it's like it's like a precursor. It's like knowing someone. I'm gonna say it. Now, I know this show's like PC. This show's not. It's like saying you know somebody who's not the same color as you. You got to list all your friends who happen to be not the same color as you.
Right.
All of a sudden, like to justify it.
I'm a white guy, but I'm not racist. Listen, I have 3 black guys who have African names. Okay.
And here's their names.
Right.
They tell you their names. It's like not only do I have black friends, but here is their name, and they make sure they give you like Jermaine, Kariba, and Woody.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, dude, I didn't ask. And don't even go there with your friends who have like, gay friends, because all of a sudden they tell you that they know a gay person, and it's like, really? Nobody needs to tell you that. It's the same thing with the military. It's the same thing with, oh, you were in the Marine Corps? Yeah. I almost joined. I was going to, my parents, they wouldn't let. So after you're 18, you can join. Well, I was going to do that, but then I went to college. Military puts your college. Well, asthma waiver. Well,
I couldn't do the duck walk.
Yeah, I couldn't do the duck walk.
So what was? Wait a minute. So what was your job in the Marine Corps?
I love that. 0311. Guaranteed infantry.
Why'd you join? And then you go high and right. Why'd you join? To slay fucking bodies. To be the first kid on my block with a confirmed kill. To fucking ping mist. That is why I joined the United States Marine Corps Infantry. And they're like, whoa, dude, negative. I was going to go admin in the chair force. No.
Oh,
yeah.
No. People ask me that. I know this is kind of just us bullshitting on the show, but people have asked me, which is funny. They're like, did you look at any other branches? In fact, my mother asked me that when I came home. Did you bother to look at any other branches, or is this it? I'm like, Mom, you're my grandparents, your mom and dad, they live in Beaufort, South Carolina, and you send me there every summer for 6 weeks.
Right.
I went to 3 bases when I was there. I went to Parris Island to go to the PX, like a good boy, and eat the Popeyes that they used to have. I don't know if they still have it. And then we went to Cherry Point that's near there? Or Beaufort, there's a Marine Air Base is right by there, right?
Near...
you can tell. Near Parris Island, right? There's one... What? Is Cherry Point near there? I don't know. I don't remember my...
North Carolina.
In South Carolina, there probably still is somebody who's like, hey, he fucking doesn't know. No, it was a fucking long time ago. I was a kid. And I didn't go back over to the fucking East Coast to serve. I was a West Coast Marine, goddammit.
You're a Hawaii Marine, weren't you?
I was a Hawaii Marine. I was with 2-3. I started off with 3-3. But funny story, so my mom asked me that, and I was like, look, I went there, and the only other time I went anywhere was to Charleston Air Force Base. Because my grandfather got out as a colonel in the Army, and he went private contractor for Martin Marietta that made missiles. That's what they do. They make missiles. It was for the Cold War. So we went there, but I was more enamored with Parris Island, right? That was cool shit. And then I saw Full Metal Jacket, so I was sold. So I joined the Marine Corps. I never went and interviewed any of the other branches because I'd never joined the Navy because they're just uniforms. And I'm sorry, I never want to be called seaman. Period.
Right.
End of sentence. Air Force, I'm not a pansy. Coast Guard, I'd never want to be part of TSA. TSA wasn't even around when I did that, but now that's what the Coast Guard is. They're TSA. You know that they're not part of the Department of Defense? They are Homeland Security now.
Wow.
Did you know that? Did you know that they fall under the Department of Homeland?
I did not.
Yeah, so technically they already were ranked already in the military, not the favorite branch, and then they got demoted to the minors. That fucking sucks.
That
So
does suck.
they're basically like TSA for the water. So they're probably like somewhere right now a Boy Scout in boats is really mad at me. You don't understand, dude. You go to boot camp and like have phones. But anyways, that's why I didn't pick any other branches. But everyone tells you why they joined. Like seriously, it drives me nuts. It's like, you know why I almost joined? Why? Why did you not join? Well, the draft. Well, there was never a draft, and they never like. And why is it when you tell them what you do, the third question is how many people did you kill?
Yes.
Like that's the leading question.
As many as possible.
Everybody, you like make up numbers. You're like 500. Yeah, they based the movie Shooter after me.
Are we talking knife kills?
Knife kills, yes.
What are we talking with bare hands?
I'm gonna start you next time I'm asked. I'm gonna start giving my numbers from Battlefield 1. That's my new ploy. Those numbers currently sit at about 6,700. So I'm gonna use those numbers. I think it sounds more manly. Kill a lot of people, yeah. Germans, Italians.
Dear God.
God, he's a psychopath.
We're dealing with the real psychotic motherfucker here.
Crazy. Everyone hates the Marines. Those damn Marines. Why are you guys like that? Why is your humor so dark? That's another thing we get told. Our humor is dark, and we laugh at inappropriate things. Well, yeah. Duh. Have you seen Range 15 or Vet TV?
Dude, and the thing is, like, you're going to find us, okay, you find veterans and entrepreneurs in the detention room.
That's true. You do. Some of the baddest people on the planet. I know personally, and I know we've interviewed a couple of them that they'll be coming out with me, and and I can mention some by name. You look at folks like Donnie O'Malley, a captain in the Marine Corps.
Debauchery.
Complete debauchery with Vet TV. Third most funded Kickstarter of all time. Vet TV. I mean, look at that dude. And he was like, he even says in his bio, in his book, he talks about it. He was like the kid that was always, like the picked on kid, right? You would never expect him to be that kid now. Then you look at other people who were like the detention kids, like Greg Jooms over at Victor App. I know he's been a guest on the show. I mean, you just get all these badass people, and now look at them, right? Everybody's, even, Dan from Grunt Style, same thing, right? Everybody's now American badass was that kid in detention, wasn't the straight A student, wasn't like, I need to go to college. It was like, no, I need to go serve my country. And now we have pretty killer projects that we're working on. I mean, I think to turn this to be serious for a minute, I think the veteran community makes the best entrepreneurs on the planet.
Absolutely.
I would put a veteran-owned business up against any other business and see in the long run, if you gave them the same capital, right? If we can find a VC to take this bet, and you could do it in almost any vertical. Take a tech startup and put leadership that's all the little, I went to Stanford, I wear hoodies. You put those little fucking snowflakes there. And then you line it up with the veterans, right? We put a veteran tech team together. You put those dudes together. I guarantee you the veteran company succeeds in its first year. It breaks records and has more of a longevity in the plan, and it doesn't run into the issues that you see with any other business that you see that's civilian run, because civilians run into that whose ego is bigger issue, right? And it's all about who's getting paid what and how do we succeed, instead of we all rise together and we make this work. And they speak about themselves in first person. I think Simon Sinek has hit that on the head a million times in his TED Talks and his books. And I think people need to get that and see that shit. Like, it's not made up. We don't think of ourselves as individuals. The one thing is yes, the Army has Calvin Klein do its freaking separation. And yes, we have 1 bazillion military apparel clothing lines. but they don't really compete against each other. If you were to ask any of the CEOs, and I've asked a number of them, they don't even look at each other as competition. They want to support each other. I think that's freaking unique. You wouldn't have that. Could you imagine freaking Nike saying, well, I kind of like Reebok?
Right.
They're nice guys.
Want to open the kimono.
Yeah, we want to come on over, Under Armour. We like you too.
See, now,
it's only here that you see that.
Right. And as we wrap things up, go ahead and share with folks what's happening with LifeFlip Media and how they can get in touch with Eric Mitchell and where to, follow you while we're doing this guest host journey.
Oh, follow me. Well, LifeFlip, Jesus, what can I not say about LifeFlip? But LifeFlip Media right now, we are a veteran-owned and operated. What the hell are we? We are a PR firm that does communications, and you probably recognize brands like Vet TV and Grunt Style, and oh Jesus, we have Counter-Strike Coffee. I mean, basically, if you're a veteran brand and you're doing well and you want TV exposure, give us a call. We'd love to have you. You can ping me at my email, Eric at LifeFlip Media, and our team's pretty awesome. I mean, the other gentleman's voice on this phone helps out on our team. We've got some real rock stars. We do it, and we're a small team, but we'll kick any big team's ass. Our prices are better, and we only serve veterans and a few civil servants. We have one, but that's what's going on at LifeFlip. I'm excited about it. We put this dream together to only serve veterans. No one does it. We speak your language. So if you're a veteran and you want to be taken care of, and somebody told you that they'll charge you $20,000 to do all your communications, well, tell them to go themselves and give me an email. You want to reach me? Hit me up on. I'm pretty easy. Facebook, Eric L. Mitchell, or find me on LifeFlip Media, and you can get a hold of me there. On Instagram, which is one of my favorites, you can hit us up at LifeFlip Media or LifeFlip Media PR, or myself, Eric L. Mitchell. And if you still use Twitter, that's at Eric L. Mitchell. Also, follow. Just what I ask of everybody is you don't need to follow me. Follow LifeFlip Media. We try to put out some good content at all times. Our Instagram's what we're proud of. Go to our website, subscribe to our mail list, and I'll be sharing this journey. I'll be blogging about it, of interviewing people and guest hosting on what I think is one of the best podcasts out there. But you don't have to take my advice for that. But you guys are good. So I thank you for letting me come on here and torment you and torment your guests that we have.
Good times.
I don't know if they're prepared for me yet, but
yes. Strap it on.
Anyways, brother, thanks for having me on. It's always great to chit chat with you and the team, and talk about, get a little funny and get deep and, try to get some information across to people. All right. That's what we're here for.
Hell yeah. Smoking and joking since 1775. You got to love it. Well, thank you so much to Eric Mitchell, to our sponsors, veteranslist.us, Spartan Media, Heroes Media Group. There are more in the pipeline and much more to come with Eric Mitchell. We have a bunch of different episodes that are lined up in the batch. So, stay tuned. Same bat channel, same bat time. And on that note, we cue the music.